Welcome to the Pardes channel. Today, we explain Numbers chapter 2 in a clear and simple way, step by step. It's so easy to read through these ancient texts and just see a giant wall of names and numbers. But today, we're going to translate all that dense data into a fascinating visual blueprint of an ancient moving city. We're going to reconstruct exactly what this looked like on the ground, infusing these literal numbers with the profound sense of wonder they truly deserve. Now, I want you to really think about this practical question. How do you organize over 600,000 people in a brutal desert? Imagine the sheer logistics here. Without a strict, universally understood system of order, a migrating population of this immense size, wandering around the harsh Sinai wilderness, would literally descend into absolute chaos in a heartbeat. They absolutely needed a structure for living, a structure for moving, and a structure for defense. In Hebrew, this book of the Bible is often called Bamidbar, which means in the wilderness. And structure is exactly what keeps a wilderness from turning into a wasteland. And that brings us right to our primary source. The original Hebrew text of Numbers chapter 2 isn't just some boring list. It provides the exact organizational chart for the Israelite nation. This specific chapter gives us the step-by-step literal instructions, what we call the Peshat, or plain meaning, for both the camping layout and the marching order of the Israelites. It tells us exactly who, what, where, and why, anchoring us entirely in the literal text, no deep symbolism required. Okay, let's dive into this. 1. The Wilderness Camp Challenge. 2. Eastern Vanguard, Camp of Judah. 3. Southern Flank, Camp of Reuben. 4. The Center, Tent and Levites. 5. West and North Flanks. And 6. Final Census and Lessons. Think of this agenda as our map today, guiding us around the 4 points of the compass before we step back to look at the grand totals. Section 1. The Wilderness Camp Challenge. Before handing out specific addresses, the text establishes a universal ground rule for the whole community. The core instruction in verse 2 is incredibly specific. It says, the Israelites are to camp round the tent of meeting some distance from it, each man under his standard with the banners of his family. So the absolutely crucial point here is that this was definitely not a free-for-all. Every single person had a designated spot. You belonged to a family. Your family had a banner. In Hebrew, those are called otot, meaning signs or markers. And your family's banner belonged to a specific tribal standard, called a dagel. And the whole massive formation maintained a respectful distance around the central tent of meeting. Section 2. Eastern Vanguard, Camp of Judah. Let's move our map over to the east side, facing the sunrise, and check out the first major division. The text breaks down this eastern camp super methodically, right verse by verse. First, stationed exactly on the east, is the standard of the camp of Judah. Their leader is Nahshon, son of Amminadab. These names actually carry deep Hebrew roots, by the way. Amminadab means my kinsman is noble, and they boast a massive force of 74,600 men able to serve in the army. Pitching their tents right next to Judah is the tribe of Issachar, led by Nathaniel, meaning God is given, son of Zuar, bringing 54,400 men. And rounding out this eastern block is the tribe of Zebulun, led by Eliab, meaning my God is father, son of Helon, with 57,400 men. We're carefully detailing these plain facts because every single individual name and number is totally crucial to the stability of the whole camp. So when we add those 3 tribes together, we get a whopping total 186,400 men assigned to the camp of Judah. And this brilliantly illustrates their function. Because they're positioned in the east, facing the sunrise, they act as the vanguard. When the trumpets sound to break camp, Numbers chapter 2 explicitly states they are the ones who set out first. They are literally the leading edge of the nation. Section 3, Southern Flank, Camp of Reuben. Now let's transition down to the south side of the camp to uncover the next layer of the blueprint. On the south side flies the standard of the camp of Reuben. It's kind of interesting. Reuben was the historical firstborn son, but here he is stationed on the south, not taking that lead east position. Reuben's tribe, led by Eliezer, which means my God is a rock, numbers 46,500 men. Right next door camps the tribe of Simeon under the leadership of Shelumiel, translating to peace of God, with a division of 59,300. Finally, locking down the southern flank is the tribe of Gad. Their leader is Eliasaph, meaning God has added, bringing 45,650 men. Again, we're looking purely at the literal text here, establishing exactly who is protecting the southern perimeter. The combined total for the camp of Reuben on the south comes out to 151,450 men, and the text clearly dictates their marching sequence. They set out second. The second that Judah's massive vanguard camp clears out, Reuben's camp seamlessly falls right in behind them.
Section 4. The center, tent, and Levites. We've mapped out the east and the south. Now let's step right into the very heart of the camp formation, the anchor that everything else revolves around.
Now, what's really interesting about this layout is the clear visual contrast. The text states that the tent of meeting and the camp of the Levites will set out directly in the middle of the camps. You've got the common man, the 12 tribes we've been meticulously counting, camping on the outer perimeter, numbered specifically for war. But the Levites? Completely different story. They are camped strictly in the middle. They aren't counted among the general army. Their one and only responsibility is protecting, maintaining, and moving the sacred tent of meeting. It's an incredible physical separation of the sacred from the mundane, guaranteeing that the absolute center of the community is entirely dedicated to God.
Section 5. West and North Flanks. Let's finish drawing our map by visiting the remaining tribes stationed over on the west and north sides.
Following the text strictly verse by verse, we move to the west. Here flies the standard of the camp of Ephraim. The tribe of Ephraim is led by Elishama, meaning God has heard, numbering 40,500. Next to them is Manasseh, led by Gamaliel, numbering 32,200. And completing the west is Benjamin, led by Abidan, with 35,400. This entire western camp totals 108,100 men. And their marching orders? They are instructed to set out third. Finally, we look up to the north, under the standard of Dan. The tribe of Dan, led by Ahiezer, numbers 62,700. Next is Asher, led by Pagiel, with 41,500. And completing the northern flank is Naphtali, led by Ahira, numbering 53,400. This northern camp packs a massive combined total of 157,600 men. Because they are the final group, they set out last, effectively acting as this gigantic rear guard, protecting the back of the whole migrating nation.
When we put all of this together, it is just brilliant sequential logic. The physical layout of the camp, while they were totally stationary, perfectly dictated their highly organized marching order. When it was time to move, there was absolutely no scrambling, no trying to figure out who went where. Judah in the east goes first. Reuben in the south follows. The Levites in the center move next, safely sandwiched right in the middle. Ephraim from the west follows them, and Dan from the north pulls up the rear. Just like that, a static blueprint instantly converts into a perfectly mobile column. Section 6. Final Census and Lessons. Now that we've constructed the entire camp, let's take a step back, look at the completed architectural map, and check out the grand totals. Verse 32 drops this dramatic final number on us, 603,550. This is the grand total of all the counted Israelites, men 20 years old or more, able to serve in the army, neatly categorized by their divisions. And remember, this strictly adheres to the rule established earlier. It completely excludes the Levites, who are counted totally separately along with the women and children. This number really drives home the sheer staggering scale of this desert community. It proves exactly why such rigorous, unquestionable order was totally non-negotiable. Based purely on the plain text, we can draw out some incredible practical life lessons from how ancient Israel was organized. First up, order prevents chaos, especially in difficult environments like a harsh wilderness. Second, every individual and family has a specific, designated role. You belong somewhere, and your presence absolutely matters to the overall structure. Third, breaking down a mass population into manageable divisions means sharing the burden. Moses wasn't leading 600,000 unorganized individuals, he was leading beautifully structured camps. And finally, the most sacred elements of your community belong safely protected at the very center of everything you do. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Just as the ancient Israelites built their entire physical and mobile world around the tent of meeting, we have to make choices about our own structures. When you organize your own life, what do you place in the center? What is the anchor that dictates your daily marching orders? Thank you for learning with us. If this helped you understand the chapter better, like, subscribe, and join us for the next chapter.